What the fuck is up, Denny's? It's the King with the boys coming to you live from the Jojitorium. It's Adam and Matt bringing you some hometown flavor from Adam's vacation over in Columbus, Ohio. But before we get into that, I have to remind everybody, the Brews and Bruises Festival is going on in September. Now, I know I've been telling you about this one, but the details just keep coming out. So, on September 18th of this year, the Brews and Bruises Festival takes place at the Green Tree Sportsplex. Tickets are up and are on sale right now. So, a breakdown is you can get VIP tickets, and that gets you a catered private bottle share and early admission. The early admission gets you into the event 1 hour earlier than everybody else. And then, of course, general admission lets you in at 1 p.m. And it's also my understanding, Mr. Zane let me know that the VIP ticket holders may get a special little surprise. If I know anything about Mr. Zane, it's going to be something cool because he is just, like, he thinks outside the box. So it's going to be a really cool thing. There are so many great local breweries that are going to be on this list, and we are a part of it. Bash Brew will be there tossing out some of the best brews of the burg. And also, too, you can come on down and maybe there's be some Decaying with the Boys gear there for you to snatch up as well. Please do not forget, there will be live professional wrestling at this event. So go over to tickettailor.com and search for Brews and Bruises Festival. And as always, you can check out their Facebook page, Brews and Bruises Festival. Get your tickets now because this event, much like everything else in Pittsburgh, will sell out.
I can't wait.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to get there. And also, too, I haven't been to a professional wrestling event, I think.
Ooh, it's been since like middle school. It's been a long time for me.
I think the last time you and I saw anything really live together, we went to that UFC fight,
which was a blast.
Luke Rockhold really.
Yeah, I thought that might be, except for like a Pirate game and maybe a Pens game, that might be the last live sports thing I've ever went to is the UFC.
I think I got to go to a Penguins game before the Pandy really kicked off, and
I went to one the season before the Pandy season. Yeah.
So speaking of local flair, Adam, you did get to go to Columbus, Ohio. And if you haven't seen any of Adam's trip pictures, just go on his Instagram or his Facebook right now, bash_brew, where you can check out all the beers he has available for you to drink as well. But you get to see some of the cool places that Adam got to go to. So Adam, I just want you to just let us know, man, how cool was Columbus for you?
Sure, it was great. Came back a good 5 pounds heavier. Bunch of drank and ate our way around Columbus.
Yeah.
Did not think about calories for a second, but got a lot of rest. Had a good time with my wife and my dog, Tucker. So it's good to be back.
Yeah, man. The coolest picture, I like 2 pictures that you put up. One, because you're being a fat kid like I would be, and you had the oysters and the tasters of beer. 2
triple IPAs, by the
way. So just liquid calories on top of semi-liquid calories, because oysters are kind of amorphous themselves. And then the other picture was of Tucky Dog just having a blast at the Brewdog Hotel.
That was within the first 10 minutes of getting there, and he's
so excited.
Yeah. So it was awesome. And the oyster picture, the oysters were from Hoof Hearted's tap room in downtown Columbus.
Yeah.
And they were good on their own, but the best part was they had a chimichurri horseradish aioli mix.
Good Lord.
On the oysters.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have put that on everything.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
I was already say that's the thing that I would probably put on a nice lobster roll and probably just go to town, man.
It would have been great on that. I even had I ordered the carnitas and the barbacoa tacos after the oyster appetizer.
Smart.
And I wish I kept some of the sauce for on those too.
Good Lord,
phenomenal.
Man. Yeah, that's dude, now I need to go to Columbus. Not so much for the beer, but for the dip. That's about it. So speaking of Columbus and the great time you had, it's my understanding that you actually got to shake hands and rub elbows with some of the cool brewers over there too, and you brought back something for us to share.
Yeah, so one of my favorite breweries we visited during the vacation was Tones Brewing out of Whitehall, Ohio, and they were a suburb.
So not Whitehall, Pennsylvania.
Not Whitehall, Pennsylvania. Whitehall, Ohio. I would say it was about 15 minutes. My geography is a little bad. I would say but 15 minutes east of downtown Columbus.
I would like to say your geography's bad, but if you say 15 minutes east, you're doing way better than me. Because is east to the right or the left?
You're looking at the map?
Yeah.
Right.
So righty, easty, westy, lefty.
But yeah, it's Tones Brewing. It's 2 guys that started it that met in college, college buddies. One named Anthony, one named Tony. So 2 Tones Brewing.
Nice.
I
Smart.
did meet one of these 2 gentlemen the day we were there, which was nice. He was actually tending in front of house. So as the crowd died down, I got to pick his ear a little bit. We talked beers. Then we started talking bourbon. Then shots.
Nice.
May or may not have gotten poured. If the Ohio Liquor Board's listening, there was no liquor.
There was a lot of water and licensed beer sales.
He did not sell the liquor, so
Yeah.
he was just showing us what he had.
Yeah.
But the thing that stood out and the thing he seemed most proud about was this Crumble Vanilla Cookie Ale.
Shut up.
So
what is it
I
again?
brought it here today. It's a vanilla cookie ale called Crumble. And as he explained to me that they do different versions of this throughout the year.
Okay.
So like going into the fall, they'll do like a snickerdoodle. They'll do like Christmas cookie ones at Christmas time. They have some like chocolate versions for Valentine's Day.
That's really cool.
So anytime I'm passing through Columbus now, I'm going to see what crumbles
Yes.
they have on.
And
For this trip,
I'm going to Venmo the shit out of you too.
For this trip, I think this was the only. They just had the original on,
Okay.
but I brought a bunch of it back. So
Thank you.
let's pour this and
Yeah, let's do that. So while Adam pours this beer, just to let you guys know that there were so many cool responses to some of the pictures that Adam put up over in Columbus, and we're finding out more and more about how some of these beers are going to make their way into Pennsylvania. So you got to keep your eyes peeled. I know Hoof Hearted is here already. They have some great beers that you can find all over the place. And I know, and I can already tell right now, by the way, I can smell this thing.
Yeah.
And it's an arm's length away from me. If this comes around, I may have to go into Adam Bashline vacation mode and not care about calories. So let's dive into this thing. Cheers, brother. Wow. Off the rip vanilla. Off the rip vanilla. That was incredible. And plus the color looks really good.
Yeah, so of course I drank a bunch of these while I was there.
Yeah.
Totally holds up in the can. No oxidization. The carbonation's great. What I like about it is you get all that vanilla cookie, but it's not a sugar bomb. Like your teeth don't hurt. It doesn't come off as dessert necessarily.
No.
It's subtle, but it's there.
I like how it has, like, you're right. Like the vanilla is very sharp up front, but not too sharp. It's rounded to a certain degree, but like it doesn't make me go a sip. Then I gotta okay, I gotta wait a second. It has it's crispy at the end, which is really nice. It has almost like a traditional ale finish, but it has that nice sugar snap at the beginning. Wonderful beer. 2 Tones, you are killing it, man. I'm gonna throw this out there right now. I'd love to have them come on the podcast sometime to talk more about this, because this is an incredible beer.
Yeah, Tony or Anthony, whomever I talked to,
If we just
you
say
were very
Tony.
nice. Yeah, Tony was a great guy, and I believe his partner would be too. He was just very down to earth, willing to answer any questions.
Yeah.
They also did some killer, like traditional crispy ales.
Nice. I could definitely see where they could go. Well, this, like I said before, this has that traditional finish to it. So I would, you know what? The Anderson clan's going to take a trip to Columbus. Yeah. Only one of them's going to be drinking. That's okay.
And then their West Coast IPA was probably my favorite thing they had on. Probably my favorite IPA of the trip, to be honest.
Wow.
And then they had a very interesting Irish red that they brewed with juniper berries. So it had like a gin quality to it. It was also awesome.
That sounds phenomenal. I do love a good juniper berry. So I never heard about it being in beer before, so that sounds like it'd be...
I've had it in like Saisons before. I've never had it in anything that malty.
That's
awesome. It was good. And this beer comes in at 5.8%. I forgot to mention that.
Oh.
So not going to wreck you for being like a pastry ale.
Yeah. I could say right now, too, that it's another cold, rainy day in Pittsburgh, and I could see myself having a couple of these sitting next to a fire.
Yeah.
It's delicious,
yeah,
smooth.
It's somewhere between a sugar cookie and a Nella wafer.
Yeah.
Like, it's right in that.
Plays so well. Great job, 2 Tones. Really enjoy this one. Hopefully, we can reach out to you. I'd love to have you on and talk more about what you guys do. So we're going to go ahead and move into AEW Double or Nothing predictions. So Double or Nothing is basically the WrestleMania of AEW.
Right.
This is where whenever AEW was not even in place, this was, that the elite, Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and some others coming together and putting a card together a couple years ago that was phenomenal. And of course, that evolved into AEW. So they've done a very good job of making these cards very spectacular. I will say before we get into this, there are some spots where I'm like, I'm not looking forward to that match, but when we get there, we'll talk about that. But as always, kicking off at AEW Double or Nothing is the Casino Battle Royale. So there are, what is it? Is it 10? 10 altogether?
I thought it was 21.
Yeah, okay.
Right? They play off the casino thing.
Because they have the mystery entrant.
Yeah.
So highlights here, we're seeing Mr. Griff Garrison, Brian Pillman Jr., QT Marshall, Penta El Cero Miedo. You have Matt Seidel, Christian Cage, Matt Hardy, Will Hobbs, and many, many more. And there's going to be a mystery entrant. And that's usually what they do every year. But the last one we saw Mr. All Ego Ethan Page come out as the mystery entrant. So they don't slack. I mean, there was a lot of flack whenever Christian Cage came out, but I like Christian Cage. I think the storyline he's in right now with Team Taz is phenomenal.
Yeah,
they didn't let him jump right up to the title.
I think so All Ego came out for that grab the ring or whatever ladder match. I think last year's Casino Battle Royal might have been Matt Seidel.
It was, yeah, because
right?
he had the botch.
Yeah, and he slipped off the top.
Which they still make fun of
in
storylines. But I'll tell you this, though. Matt Seidel lets it roll right off his back. Like a duck. Get it? We'll talk about that later, too. So, out of all these people, we're looking at a bunch of upper mid carders in this one with some higher end talent. There's a lot of the Dark Order in here, and then you see, of course, a lot of the Hardy family, operation or whatever he calls it, the Hardy family, whatever. I can't remember.
Corporation, I don't know what
something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna let you know right now. I hope that Penta wins because I love Penta so much, and I think that he has the ability to carry a battle royale because I think he's done very well in like 6-man tags and 10-man tags. I think he could do really well there, but I also think he can carry a title if he got a shot. And I'd love to see him take down Kenny Omega. I think that'd be a really good match.
That'd be a great match.
As for the mystery,
I mean, they've done it in the past and it's been great. So for the title would be
amazing. Yeah, give them 30 minutes and nobody interfere from the outside,
right,
and just let them go. And hopefully Penta comes away with it. For the mystery entrant, I don't even know right now because all the people that I would pick are either tied up with belts in other divisions and other promotions, or they've gotten hurt, like Will Ospreay. Like I thought he was going to come through at some point. I would say, and I might be stealing this from you, Tama. Maybe Tama comes out.
I love that. I actually didn't think of him, but I hope it's him.
I think it'd be cool to have Tama come out, and then it could be the start of like almost like the NWO, like the Wolfpack versus the Originals.
This just seems like a weird spot for him to come in because nobody's in from like the elite group, and nobody's in from like Moxley and
Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, sorry, my favorite fucking dude.
I was ready to say, man. Sorry, Eddie. Don't yell at us on camera because we'll get decimated.
Yeah, and Eddie, who I think he would Tama would team up with, is Eddie and Mox. But
I think that'd be really cool to see the three of them.
So I don't know if that's him. Is your pick Penta then?
I'm gonna say Penta, and I'm gonna say the mystery entrant. And I mean, it's fingers crossed. Not gonna hold my breath. Tama Tonga comes out and comes to AEW.
So mine's one and the same, and it might not be exciting. It might not even be what I hope happens.
Yeah.
But I think the mystery entrant's going to win it, and I think the mystery entrant is Paul White.
Ooh, you know what?
Because he's the guest commentator, so I think he's just going to get up from the desk and roll in there.
Well, no longer the big show.
If not him, I hope the mystery entrant is CM Punk, because I'll just keep saying that until CM Punk shows up.
I will pop. I'll punch my TV.
But so I'll just go out on a limb and say my pick is Paul White. But if it's not him, I hope it's Christian Cage. Just to
that'd be cool.
I think he kind of got stuck in this position because of an injury to Ricky Starks, so he deserves better.
Yeah,
but he also doesn't need the push, so I'm not sure about that. But I'll go with kind of a letdown and say it's just going to be a big cheer fest for Paul White.
Yeah, I let me say this though too about Christian. I think that what happened with him is when he came on the scene, there was a lot of flack when he came on. They're like, "Oh, you're just going to push a 7-year out of the ring former WWE guy."
Oh, you mean like what WWE did? WWE did with Edge?
Yeah, exactly. I think that there was some blowback for that. So Tony Khan and granted, lately there's been some questionable things from Tony, but I think Tony kind of read the fans on that one. And then I think Also, too, I do think it is because of an injury to Ricky Starks, but I think, too, it could also be that Tony Khan wants to recover a little bit from the fans. There's enough people in the title scene where you don't have to push Christian right now.
No.
And I think he's doing a great job in this storyline with Team Taz.
I agree.
So moving on to a match that rhymes, Adam Hangman Page versus Brian the Machine Cage. I'm going to tell you right now, this is actually going to be a good match, I think. You have two bright stars from the indie scene, veterans on the indie scene. They've had matches before, and you can clearly tell there's chemistry between them. They know how to handle themselves. The hard part that you're going to see here is that how much outside interferences there are going to be, because Adam Page is quintessentially Dark Order member. I mean, they're always up his butt wearing weird cowboy hats trying to get him to, I don't know, spoon with them. And then Brian Cage, of course, is a member of Team Taz, but there's been turmoil with Brian Cage and Team Taz where they're not supporting him as much. I think this boils down to the redemption for Adam Page. He lost. That was a cool little thing they did, like a quick setup for this match to have him lose on television. That was really good for outside interference. So I think the tables will turn, and unfortunately, I think the Dark Order is going to come out and interfere a little bit. And Adam Page is going to take it, but it's going to cause a rift between Adam Page and the Dark Order
to get him back on a serious singles
serious singles push, and he'll start getting pushed towards Kenny Omega finally.
Yeah, so nothing exciting for me either in this match. I think it's going to be exciting. I think the match will be exciting, but I basically echo what you just said.
Yeah,
Adam Page is my favorite wrestler in AEW right now.
Yeah.
And I hope he gets pushed. I was upset when he lost that match. I was like, oh no, what's going on? And then I was being a rube. They were, of course, just building for the pay-per-view match.
Did a good job, though. That was a very quick setup.
Yeah.
Very good booking.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, they are booking this well.
Yeah.
They goof up some things, but this is going really well. But yeah, I'm also picking Hangman for this one.
Well, I think, too, like, you can't be perfect all the time, especially with the wrestling promotion, because not everyone's going to be happy. Clearly, look what happened for the Blood and Guts. I mean, that was just a terrible ending to what I thought was a great match. It just ended up being in a weird spot. So we move on to another match, and this is what I would say, like, this is kind of a low point in the card for me. This might be the part where I go grab a beer or take a pee break to kind of come back and see what happens.
Yeah, I'll come back for the end.
Yeah, and it's no jab at these guys at all, because these are all very accomplished wrestlers. I like every one of them individually, but the continued romance between Sting and Darby Allin then faces off against the new bromance of Scorpio Sky and All Ego Ethan Page. I like all of these guys. I like Sting because of nostalgia. I like Darby Allin because he's reckless. I like Scorpio Sky because I think he's a champion. And I like Ethan Page because he's an ultimate heel. I like all of them. I think Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page take this one. I think they're going to do some heel shit, and they're going to take it. And hopefully that causes a little bit of a rift between Darby and Sting. I'd like to see them separate a little bit more, because it's always like they get into something, they save each other, or they get into something, they save each other, and it's getting monotonous at this point. I just want to see something change with that aspect, and I want to see Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page get pushes, because you let Scorpio Sky win the Face of the Revolution match, and then nothing. So
yeah, that's actually my biggest problem with this match is I like all these guys. I like none of them in these tag teams, though.
Yeah.
Scorpio Sky seems like he got the brakes put on him being here, and so did Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Darby's working fine because Sting's more of his manager anyway.
That's true.
So that's fine, but like, and he can make up for where Sting is slowed down.
Yeah.
It should be a solid match. Just there's no stakes in it for me. But I agree with you again. I think Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page are going to sneak this one out. Maybe like a dirty hit on Sting or something.
That's what I'm thinking too. It usually comes down to, the Stinger keeps the baseball bat on him, and it's usually the thing that defeats him too. Like he gets hit with his own baseball bat. And I think that's what's going to happen here, especially because Scorpio Sky likes to do that. Like, I beat you with your own shit kind of thing. So I think that's what's going to happen.
When I think, Darby did just lose his title, so he could use a win, but if you're really trying to establish that heel tag team, you got to let them get some wins too. And if you pin Sting, it's not hurting Darby too bad.
No, not at all. There you go. You know what? That's what's probably going to happen. Sting takes the fall. Darby stays babyface. And then that could probably set up some other stuff between.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just roll into a solo. He like rolls into a solos program with Scorpio's guy because they had a match for the title back a few months ago.
Really good,
awesome. Yeah,
and that's when you start to see Scorpio slowly take that heel turn, which I like Scorpio as a heel. He always had a cockiness to him that I really enjoyed, and now he gets to really embrace it, and I really really like that.
He can play well on either side of the aisle, but
yeah. Do you see how jacked Ethan Page looks? By the way,
yeah,
Jesus Christ. It looks like he put on just like 10 pounds of sheer muscle.
I'll tell you what he didn't do. Go to Columbus this week.
Got fucking vanilla cookie crumble ales and oysters and then tacos. I did the same thing, man. And I wasn't even on vacation. I had a terrible day yesterday. For those who don't know, I don't eat red meat because it just messes me up. But yesterday I broke my own code and I had some grilled burgers.
Nice.
And I forgot why I missed it so much, and then I had it, and then I regretted it, and then
don't eat it.
Yeah,
I was actually pretty good yesterday. I ate fairly light and was just about to head to the gym, and then Memorial Day party started.
Yes,
and I ate like 4 pieces of pizza and drank 4 beers or so.
Pizza is my downfall. I do eat the cauliflower pizza.
It was Sam's Pizza in Cannonsburg, so
you have to
couldn't pass it up.
Sam's Pizza is incredible.
But other than that, I ate like a light salad yesterday. So
that's good. Yeah. I went out to eat with. I was out doing my normal 9 to 5 with my partner, and we went to a great sandwich shop out in Ambridge together. Ooh. It was great, and he and I both get kind of the same thing, and then I get fries on the side of mine, like sriracha fries on the side of mine, and he gets a salad. And I look over, I'm like, dude, your sandwich is like 1,000 calories. Why'd you get a salad? And he's like, I'm an anomaly. And just starts eating everything he has. So going on to the rest of the matches here, we have Cody Rhodes, who's now the American Dream, taking his dad's moniker, which I think is really cool. I know people were like, that's stupid, but listen, anytime you can pay homage to your father and he's not a piece of shit, it's great. You know, going against Anthony Ogogo, who has established himself as a pretty dominant singles competitor. I mean, he reminds me of Crush. Just having that one punch power. If you remember, Crush used to do the heart punch.
Yeah.
So Anthony Ogogo has that body shot, and it can kind of come out of nowhere. Shot. It's really cool. I'm going to go on a limb here. I want to say that Anthony Ogogo takes this one because Cody Rhodes has been known to write himself into major losses. He's an EVP. He kind of writes his own storylines. He's not in line for any title shots right now, and he needs to be written off because Brandy's about to have that baby. So what happens if he takes a liver shot and he can't come back? And then QT Marshall and the Factory, wherever the hell they're called, just take over.
Finally, we disagree. There's no way Cody Rhodes is losing this with the American Dream moniker going in. I do agree he's going to be written off soon. I thought he would have been written off a while ago.
I thought he would have been written off on the Shaq fight.
Right. Yeah.
Just take your time, man, because he made so much money from that Go Big show with Burnt Chrysler.
Yeah. Burnt Crystals.
Burnt Crystal. Yeah. Like he made so much money with the fattest comedian working today. He could have took time off. But hey, listen, Cody Rhodes is a workhorse. People give him shit for whatever. I don't know, he bleeds too much, whatever. I like Cody Rhodes a lot. So
I like his in-ring actions. His mic skills sometimes irk me the wrong way.
Hit the lift?
Sometimes no, it's not. I don't even care about his speech impediment. It's just like for this, like, why do we have to go all xenophobic against England? Like, that war's done.
Because God bless America, Adam.
Yeah, I guess
it's
so.
Memorial Day weekend.
So it just seemed a little forced this time.
Yeah.
But his matches are always great, and I like his in-ring.
Yeah.
And I like his storytelling in the ring. But yeah, I think he's going to win. Hopefully the Factory goes back to AEW Dark Elevation for some seasoning.
Maybe. I don't know. I
just don't like the Factory. I
think this is a trap.
I think QT Marshall is great in ring. The rest of them need some time.
I think it's a trap. And I think that's why I agree with a lot of your take on this. But I think what's going to happen here is it's going to be the curveball. Because there's always a match on these cards, the curveball. And I think this is the curveball. I think it looks like Cody needs to win this one. But I just think there's something about it.
Yeah, looking at it, you could be right.
Yeah, because the other ones are pretty much like... You can guess these ones, the rest of them, but I would love to see this. Maybe I'm going to get heat for this. I don't know. I want to see Anthony Ogogo win because I think in the Factory, he's the best one. I think he's
the most upside.
Yeah, he's the Ricky Starks of that group. Like, you didn't think there was too much going on, then all of a sudden he puts on a singles match. You're like, Jesus Christ, where'd this guy come from? So I think Anthony Ogogo can carry the match with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has experience, though. I mean, it's going to be a really good match. I'm not mad with anyone who wins this one, but I think Anthony could take it. Speaking of matches that are easy to call, as much as I hate to say this, Miro versus Lance Archer for the TNT Championship. Miro has to win. That's it.
Yeah, I'm sad that the first defense has to be Lance Archer because I really like Archer.
I love Archer.
Hopefully it's just a hoss battle.
Yeah.
Lots of stiff strikes, a good strong style match. And they just hoss it against each other. Hopefully Lance comes out looking strong, but I think he's going to come out with the loss on this one.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think Lance is probably one of my favorite big men right now. I like his attitude. And he has that unique ability where he's definitely a heel, but he has babyface pull. Like, people pop for him a lot. His mic skills are okay, and he has Jake the Snake Roberts on his side, which you can't go wrong with that because he's the most sadistic person that's ever put on.
Depends what street corner you go past.
Yeah, well, that was his past Adam.
He's doing DDP yoga now.
Yeah, he looked really good, then he looked really bad. Now he looks even worse, and hopefully he does more yoga. Maybe he can do a headstand. I don't know. God, man.
He looks really rough right now.
He got pushed. It was a few months ago. He got pushed by somebody, and he fell down. And then the wrestling segment went on for like 8 more minutes, and he was just him in the background rolling like a turtle, trying to get up.
Just a really, really quick off-topic sidebar. Have you seen any of the A&D biographies they're doing on the wrestlers?
Yes.
Have you seen the Macho Man one?
Yes.
So what the hell happened? When did they record Jake the Snake in that? It looked like he just came off the set for Just for Men.
Yes.
And he had like a toupee on. It was weird.
It was very weird. That was like in his renaissance. Like, he had that like brief period of time. Like, I'm clean now, and I'm trying to take back my life. And then they turn the cameras off, and he's like, he went right back to toupee came off. The gut came back. I mean,
that one's for you, Mach.
Yeah. Cup of coffee in the morning. He's like the Connell. Fed smoker. Oh, you just fucked up, buddy. Oh, I took a job. So yeah, Miro's coming out of this one with the title. I think Miro can hold that title for a while, and I think he could really set up something cool for that mid-card title.
Yeah, I just don't know where Lance goes from here, and maybe maybe when we do the post-op on this pay-per-view, we'll have a better idea. But like, I see him primed for the heavyweight title.
Me too.
The world title. But I don't see him winning that right now either.
No. Well, I think too, with all the rumors of AEW having that second show. So who knows?
Maybe another belt coming.
Yeah, maybe another belt coming. Like, because right now, if you look at it, they have like their world championship and then the TNT championship. You could still have that like IC championship or like a TV title or whatever. I think that's a TNT title though.
It's basically the TV. Yeah.
Well, like you could have some other titles come out too. The European title. It'd be kind of cool. They brought that one back.
The Canadian title.
Sorry about that. The next matchup here, I can't wait for this one. Hikaru Shida, the current AEW Women's Champion, who just got the new championship belt last night around her waist.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. Well,
it's going to look really good on Britt.
It's going to look fantastic on Britt. Pittsburgh Pride, baby. Britt Baker, DMD, is taking that championship belt off Hikaru Shida. But I think it's smart to put the new belt on Shida. She deserves it. She carried that championship through the entire pandemic.
Yeah.
She's going to get her pop in front of live fans. And then she's going to drop that belt in glorious fashion to Britt Baker. Because Britt Baker has shown not only these past 2 matches she's had, but building up to those 2 matches that she is a legit wrestler. I can't wait to see what these two put on because Shida is a hell of a wrestler. Baker is a hell of a wrestler. And there's high stakes on the line. And if Britt Baker takes this over, the heel shit she's going to do. I can't wait. And that can bring about a nice feud with Big Swole, which I've been dying for. So Britt Baker, Pittsburgh Pride, bringing that new belt back to the 412.
Yeah, can't agree more. Hikaru Shida is a great wrestler, too. She's probably my second favorite name.
Yeah.
Problem is, she's going up against my favorite.
Yep.
So,
Samesies.
Yeah, so, again, Pittsburgh Pride, go Britt.
Yeah.
Bring it home.
Bring it home, baby. And I know you're going to have Reba, not Rebel, there with you, and she's going to bring that crutch she hasn't fucking needed in 2 months.
Tony Schiavone's best friend.
The dynamic between Britt Baker and Tony Schiavone is probably one of my favorite things to watch right now.
I listen to his podcast all the time.
He's good.
That he does. He has a huge crush on Reba Not Rebel. Too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was the first person to like that post she just put up on Twitter and Instagram today.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, fuck all your haters. And Tony Schiavone like broke his phone trying to like it. Oh, my God. So going on to the next championship match we have here, the Young Bucks versus our homeboy, Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley coming in for the AEW Tag Team Championships. I think you got to know the Young Bucks are going to do something heinous, and they're going to win the titles. It's unfortunate to say.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
my disdain for them winning just proves that they're doing great heel work.
They are. Yeah. Who wears Dior fucking shoes?
Assholes.
Yeah, total assholes.
So, I think the assholes are going to win by nefarious means, and I think this is where you see Tama or somebody from Japan come and help Moxley and Kingston out.
Yeah, I would like to see that too.
That would make the match memorable for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just they're getting beat down.
I'm going to tell you right now, though, Young Bucks are going to win, but they're not going to win because they're going to out-wrestle. They're going to get their asses beat for about 25, 30 minutes.
It's going to be a great match.
Yeah. I think Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley are going to just bring significant levels of not high risk, but just like stiff offense. It's gonna look like Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley are gonna take the titles, and then it's gonna be the Good Brothers are gonna come in and do some stupid stuff. Which, by the way, the whole like Forbidden Door crossover thing, like I'm enjoying it, but I wish the Good Brothers would learn just to not suck. Like I don't know how else to say that. They're not doing the things I've known them to do in New Japan and in Impact. When you watch them on Impact, they're awesome. What the fuck are they doing on AEW every night?
It's not even Carl Anderson though. It's Luke Gallows is just such a big goofball.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Also, as a hat guy, talking to I think another hat guy, dude, get hats that fit your head. Like I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know if they make them.
I don't know, man. Well,
that's a big boy,
bro. If you just go on the website before you order the hat, you can measure your own head. There's like a sizing chart for each one. Just check them out. I just highly suggest next time before you buy a leather fedora that it can actually fit more than just the crown of your head.
It's on the top of his head like he's Pinocchio.
Yeah, well, it looks like a yarmulke that's puffed up. And I know that he's not Jewish because MJF fucking said so. Speaking of MJF, we're going to go into the Stadium Stampede. This is the second Stadium Stampede for the Inner Circle, but the first one for the Pinnacle. This is a very cool storyline. They did touch on some nostalgia between the two factions with War Games, aka Blood and Guts, which I thought was a great match until the ending, which everyone harped on. But then again, do you want Chris Jericho to die? Is that the only way you're going to like a match? I don't know. Yeah, he went through what looks like cardboard.
It was cardboard. Diamond-plated cardboard.
He was diamond-plated cardboard. But do you want him to go through like a steel fucking step? Like, I want Chris Jericho to die, and that's the only way my $60
I think that's a dumb argument, though. Like, just don't do the
that spot. Yeah.
Just don't do the spot.
Do the spot and don't have that camera angle.
Right.
Yeah. Cut away. Where the cutaway? Do the cutaway.
I mean, I felt just as ripped off when darn it. I don't remember who threw him off the cage. Remember when Rikishi basically landed in like the truck full of chicken feathers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Was it Undertaker?
It was Undertaker, okay. Yeah. Threw Rikishi into That
was equally as lame.
It was. But so if you have Rikishi going in the feathers and you have Jericho going into the cardboard, where do you put the sparklers?
In the toilet. Like it's the worst.
That was the worst ending. Look, 5, 4, 3, 2. I think I was actually hyped up waiting for that, and then the sparklers came off, and I was like, I wanted to turn it off so bad, but it did bring us Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley coming together, which was an okay thing. But back to this match. Inner Circle and the Pinnacle are going to go off on a Stadium Stampede, and I've read too that it's going to be way less comedy than the first one when it was the Elite versus the Inner Circle.
Damn it.
Yeah, and I loved that. That was what made it funny. Matt Hardy getting pushed in the pool and going through all of his personas was really funny.
Chris Jericho putting the traffic cone on his head.
Yeah.
And pretending to be the Wicked Witch.
That's so good. Or whenever the 110-yard continued suplex.
Oh, yeah.
He's bridging. It's like you were spamming it on WrestleMania 2000. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad it's a theatrical match because
Yeah.
they can edit out the blading.
Yeah, Jesus.
Because that was my biggest problem with Blood and Guts. It wasn't even the fall off the top into the cardboard. It was
The blading.
they caught almost every
Yeah.
guy blading
And all the
on
botches.
camera. Like, why do you cut to that camera?
Yeah, it's like, dude, like it's who's in the back? Who's in the
Who's in the back?
Who's in the back? Tony Khan comes out and talks shit. Go back there and man the cameras, bud. Like, you're a good booker.
Maybe that's what Jake the Snake does when he's off camera.
I'm gonna push buttons. Push these buttons.
That's my guess. Jake the Snake is
Jake.
running the programming.
Be better at the camera work, man. Put down the donut and push the right button. So anyway, I think in this, you have to see the inner circle take this.
Yeah, because the stip is if they lose, they're gone.
They break
right?
up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you kind of force them into a win there. Because otherwise I would say the Pinnacle.
Yeah, I would
again.
I would say the same thing. So, but it sets up a rubber match, which I don't know what you do at this point for a rubber match because you already did Blood and Guts, which is huge, and then you're doing the Stadium Stampede, which is huge.
The only thing I could see happening,
Yeah.
and I'm still picking the Inner Circle to win.
Yeah.
They could beat the Inner Circle to write Jericho off.
That's true.
To go do his Fozzy tour.
That's true. Or hear me out. This would be a great idea. Inner Circle wins, and then they do like a Jets and Sharks showdown. You know, but it's MJF and Chris Jericho into a leather strap match. That'd be cool. And Beat It plays in the background.
All right, it's not cool anymore.
All right, I screwed it up.
Main event time.
All right, Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy versus the Bastard Pac for the AEW Championship. Kenny is the belt collector. Orange Cassidy is the master of sloth style, and Pac is just a bastard. Of these three, my favorite wrestler is Pac. I love Pac.
Same here.
Secondly is Orange Cassidy because I like lazy people.
And it's smart that they put him in this match
Yep.
for the live crowd because he's going to get a
Huge pop, especially when he does all the little like the slothy thumbs up and all that stuff. The hands in the pockets is going to be huge. Plus, Orange Cassidy and Pac already had a great match at Double or Nothing a couple years ago,
Right?
And the crowd went that spot where Orange rolled back and forth through the. It was so funny. I think for this match, I am actually kind of up in the air about it because, I mean, I think it comes down to Omega and Pac. I really do. But I think Omega's going to take it. Unfortunately, I'd like to see Pac win. You know what, too? It'd be kind of cool to see Orange Cassidy hold that belt. It's just not going to happen here.
Not yet.
No. It's going to come down to Kenny Omega and Pac, and I think that Omega is going to pin Cassidy for the win.
Just so grateful there's not a goofy stipulation.
I know, Christ.
But yeah, I agree. I think Kenny Omega is going to hold that and hopefully just keeps it warm, keeps heating it up until Adam Page can take it off of him.
Yes.
And what's next? Whatever the next paper. All In, is that next?
Yes, All In is next, and that'll be live in front of fans in Chicago.
Yeah.
I just read that this morning. Fantastic.
That's when I think Adam Page makes his move.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will always root for Adam Page until CM Punk comes back.
Yeah, and then all gears shift.
Well, no, then they'll just have to take the tag team titles together.
Yeah, so I think Kenny Omega is going to take this one. I think it's also going to boil down to some heel shit. I mean, Kenny Omega has some pretty powerful friends. But I also think, too, Adam, this could be where at the end of the match, you see somebody from the original Bullet Club come out.
It's very possible to see that here, too. Or maybe a second person. Maybe. I mean, I think overall this card is pretty predictable for the most part.
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be some surprise entrances, some surprise returns.
Yeah.
And just some shock value especially since there's live attendance. Like they might have been holding on to a big name that they haven't debuted yet. So I'm hoping for that. Sadly, I don't get to watch this live because we are doing the family cookout tomorrow night. So I'm going to have to try to avoid spoilers until I get home or until Monday morning.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to text the shit out of you while I'm watching it.
That's fine. I'll still watch it.
I think this was a very safe card for Tony Khan, very smart, because in front of live fans, you don't want them to have any guesswork. I think you want fans to come in and have a little bit of predictable nature.
Yeah, I will say there's not many tweener matches. Like you definitely have face, heel,
yes,
defined, except that triple threat. Like Pac's kind of a heelish face, but
he and Lance Archer have the same kind of thing going. Like they just have that heel persona, but they pop like a baby face.
If you pushed Lance Archer right, he would have the stone cold like face push, like just a badass, but the crowd loves him.
Right. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do.
And you saw that start to happen a little bit before, but like solidified in the Brody Lee Memorial show when he came out in like the cosplay,
which was awesome.
It was great. And he kind of like always kind of stayed face-ish without being like a goody two shoes ever since then. So.
Yeah. I like that. I like that he took on. He was a savior for a couple times too. Like he was kind of aligning with Darby Allin and John Moxley there for a hot second.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was going to like align with Sting for a second in Darby.
And
like,
that kind of all fell apart too.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for our listen to our breakdown. We are going to pause for some ads. Hopefully you hear something you like and you can check them out, because if you support them, you support us, and we can bring you some cool stuff. If anything else, we'll get back to you guys here in a few seconds. Bye. Welcome back. Just so you guys know, there's been an ongoing debate here since the last episode where we ate hot sauce and decided to answer the internet. And the one spot here where I asked the guys, would you fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? And Adam is adamant that he could take a horse-sized duck. Well, I don't think that I could win against either. But I think I'd rather fight the 100 duck-sized horses. But Adam, I really got to know here, how the fuck are you going to take a horse-sized duck down?
I mean, was it hand-to-hand? Like, I'll just shoot it with an arrow.
Well, okay, Can
I shoot it?
Well, let's say this. Let's say there's two different scenarios here. One, it's hand-to-hand combat. You don't get to have any weaponry.
Well, he doesn't have any hands, so I got the one up there.
Okay, he can fly.
He can't. I'll run inside. Like, he can't attack me from the air.
So you're telling me that your defense against this fight is that I'll run.
I'll just be near a barn, and just run in the barn.
You're telling me you don't think a horse-sized duck is going to take out the front end of a fucking barn and come get you?
No, he can come in, but then he can't take off again.
So then you want to trap yourself in a barn with a horse-sized duck.
Yeah.
With a beak made of steel.
Well, when did he turn into the Terminator duck?
He's not a Terminator, dude. Duck bills are hard as fuck.
Yeah. But you just gotta hit first. Hit first, hit hardest.
Okay.
I know you think I'm delusional, but and I'm not saying it's.
How many beers did you have before you came to this show?
None. Well,
One. We had one.
But no, it's what do you think you could take?
Oh. Well, no. I'm beyond that. We are focused solely on the horse-sized duck. And I gotta know, how the hell what's your battle plan?
Shoot it.
You can't shoot it.
Oh.
If it's hand-to-hand, you're in an open field, it's hand-to-hand combat. How are you killing a horse-sized duck?
Punch it in the neck. It's got a big neck then.
Well, yeah.
So throat punch as hard as I can.
Okay.
It's going to start gagging. I'll have a bag of rice, throw it in its mouth.
You have a bag of rice?
Yeah, because that blows up the pigeons.
That's pigeons.
Well, it'll blow up a duck.
This is a horse-sized duck.
If you can blow up a pigeon, you can blow up a duck.
Yeah.
It's the dodgeball rules.
If you can dodge some rice, you can blow up a duck. I think though, I just
don't like birds. Can I be honest? I just don't like. I don't like birds. I have a fear.
When did you start hating birds?
I have a fear of emus and ostriches.
Well, because they're huge.
Yeah.
So how do you not get scared of a horse-sized duck?
I'm not scared of them. I hate them. I want to
make that very clear.
Fight them. Yes.
Yeah. So to be very clear, there's no fear.
I am scared. Well, no, I'm scared of them too, but I not in a runaway type of way. Just like get away from me. Bap.
Okay. So I just want to make a couple things very clear here.
I want to make one thing really clear, though. To start this off, I just picked that I'd rather fight that over 100 horses. And you were getting taken down by 10 rats.
Yeah.
So how do you think you're beating 100?
That's totally different. I didn't say I was going to beat 100 horses. I'm just saying I think I had a better shot at 100 horses.
I think I had a better shot at a horse-sized duck.
But we're beyond that now. We're talking about just this horse-sized waterfowl.
Yeah. Kill it.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. There's
rear naked choke. It can't.
You're gonna rear naked choke.
Yes.
A horse-sized duck.
Figure four. I don't know what you want me to say. There's so many options. Crippler crossface. That works.
Yeah. Oh shit. shit. R.I.P. I guess. I don't know. So I'm just gonna say this. I feel that there's no way you can beat a duck of a horse's size unless you have weaponry.
I mean, a horse's size is also very subjective. Like,
I guess a horse is huge.
Well, there's like Clydesdales, and then there's like the
mini
ponies
horses.
at kids' parks. No, I'm not even going mini horse. That's ridiculous. You're not
Yeah.
going to give me a mini horse-sized duck. What if it's just like a kid's birthday party horse?
Science is a thing. I could probably
Size
get you.
duck.
I can get you a mini horse-sized
Like
duck.
the duck's doing nothing with its feet. All it's got is the beak. I have one thing to
and
avoid.
wings. It's got big
They
wings.
make pillows out of duck wing. Well, not duck wings.
The goose.
Goose wings. But it's soft.
It's not about how soft
Oh my God.
the wings are. It's about it has the ability to fly above you and swoop down. You're telling me you've never been to a park and like someone was feeding ducks and you just see how ravenous they get when they see something that they want?
But that's kids that are asking for it.
Okay. So I'm just going to say we got to agree to disagree on this one because you're going to stand steadfast. And I believe
With just ridiculous accusations. I have no basis for what I'm saying here. I just don't want to give in that a duck's going to beat me up.
I'm going to fully say this, Adam, and it's nothing against you because we'd both be in the same boat. If there's a horse-sized anything, you and I are going to die.
The shame of it all is I don't even like duck meat. So it's just going
You
to
don't like
rot
duck
there in the
meat?
barn after I kill it.
Well, you can just give it to me. I love duck
Do I
meat.
have to kill it or do I just like have to I was just going to make it tap out. I don't even want to kill it.
Do ducks have the reasoning ability to understand what tapping out means?
I'll just check it.
I'm going to lightly punch until it passes out. Bronx Zoo murdered a panda. So we put it out to the fans about how they thought they could do it. And we did get some responses here. Of course, we didn't put any parameters on it to be like, you're restricted to this, you could do that. So someone said you have to bring it down with ground to air missiles, which I think.
I wasn't allowed to have weapons.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm a skilled archer. I could shoot that. I could wing that thing easy.
we all have secret talents, and the ones that you possess are like Avengers style, and it makes me nervous.
Yeah, it's I'm basically John J. Rambo if he had a donut problem.
First blood? Nah, man. First schmear. So the other one...
Jelly J. Rambo here. I'm missing about a foot of height, and I have about 100 pounds on him, and all fat.
They took his donuts. He took their lives.
Jelly J. Rambo.
Jelly J. Rambo.
That's my new nickname now. I can't give it to myself.
Coming to you live from the Jojitorium, it's Matt and Jelly J. Rambo at a backline. So the next suggestion here we had was get a fire pit and roast that punk bitch.
Yeah, sorry, I mean, you could do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't like duck meat.
Well,
it's too greasy.
I still think it goes to like, this person's thinking ahead. Like, I beat the thing, and now I'm just going to roast it on an open pit.
You're not going to just set up a fire pit and that duck's going to jump in.
Yeah. I want, like, this is cool. I mean, it's a great way to cook it and invite me over. I'd love to have a plate. But, I don't know. I just don't see a feasible way to take it down without weaponry. And here you go. It's bigger than you. It can fly. Its beak will break every part of your body it touches. All advantages, duck. And that's what I'm basing it off of. It can fly and swoop down and like peck you to death.
I've watched a lot of Bruce Lee movies. I think I can get out of the way.
Listen, man, you have solid archery skills. I've seen you throw kung fu kicks. Stick to the fucking bow and arrow.
I can avoid those shots like Conor McGregor, Poirier too.
Ooh, Jesus. Just stick your leg out and just get eaten.
I do agree that a duck that size would probably break my bones.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is like, it has to adopt some extra strength too, because it can't just be as strong as a duck to be a horse's size. It has to be as strong as a horse to support all the weight. So it have to be stronger to a certain degree too. I think that's what I'm basing it off of.
Yeah, make it a superhero duck. That's fine.
I'm not making it. I'm already being fantastical. It's a horse-sized duck.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Hand to hand, it's a tough call. I can use weapons because that thing can fly. I'm going to win. Which, okay, so you're calling it even Stevens. Like, okay, if it can fly and it can peck you to death, then you should be able to have weaponry. So I say, if you can have weaponry, but you can't have missiles, clearly, 'cause that's crazy talk.
I think this fan should just get the gift of flight and try to take it out in the air.
There you go. Oh, there you go. So horse-sized duck versus malfunctioning suit Iron Man. Jarvis.
I'm already not a big fan of flying in general. When I'm in
Yeah.
a plane, flown by a professional pilot. If I had an Iron Man suit, I'm breaking myself.
Also, too, like to be in that Iron Man suit and like one of the arm jets just goes. He's like, oh god.
It's just a barrel roll towards her.
And lastly, and this is a question we've kind of been pondering already. If I kill it, do I get to eat it? I say yes.
Yeah, I didn't even read ahead on these questions. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just jumped into the.
That's okay.
I don't like duck.
Yeah, I figured you get stuck there, but it's okay because I knew.
Which is a shame because a turducken sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And I love turkey and I love chicken, but I'm not.
What is it about turkey or duck meat you don't like?
It's It's just got like this greasy factor to me, and it's like a slight fishiness.
Yeah,
Like to me,
gamey.
duck almost comes off like I've had alligator before.
Yeah,
it's a similar
texture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could agree
Don't
with
like
that.
either.
I would. This is where we differ too. I love alligator nuggets.
Oh, if they're deep fried and
Delicious.
I can like put some hot sauce on them,
Yeah,
then
or that dip you had from Columbus.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, other than that, you guys did send them some other questions, comments, and whatevs. So, the first one we have here is, what is your perfect summer lineup for beers?
So I'll let you take this one first because I'm not sure if you want to go styles or like brands.
Not so much styles. I think I go like very specific. So actually, I just had one that I just put into my top 3, and it's last episode I brought Connie Creek. I was lucky enough when I sat down that the wonderful bartender Miranda brought me a pint of summer ale and said, you have to try this. So I did, and that summer ale is perfect. It's fantastic. I really enjoy it. Nice, light on the wheat. It comes in at like 4.7 or something like that. Just really crushable. Nice sweetness to it. I would say that's number 1 for me, the summer ale from Connie Creek. Always, and this is my only commercial beer I really consume a lot, Lion & Kugel's Lemon Shandy, just because it's a staple. Everyone in my house can drink it except for the kids, of course, because that's illegal. And then, being a homer, I'm going to say it, Bash Brew makes a beer called Dad Shoes, and it's up there.
I definitely wasn't picking that.
Yeah, I'm picking Dad Shoes. And not because I help make it, even though I am lucky enough to get to do that. But I will say that Dad Shoes, it is as good, if not better, than Lion & Kugel Lemon Shandy. So those are my top 3 summer beers. I'm more of a fruity kind of summer beer guy. And then honorable mention, 21st Amendment's Heller High Watermelon is another one that I really like.
I don't do watermelon, but that is a good one.
Thank you.
That is a good watermelon, but
Yeah.
just not a fan. So locally, I don't have like a beer I go to, but there are some breweries that I think do crispy beers really well.
Yes.
So I do like a good crispy in the summer when it gets really hot, when even the session IPAs are just not thirst quenching enough. Best place I've gotten a crispy in a long time is Burgers Brewing. They're out of Zealy and Opal, but they also have a tap room in Lawrenceville. And I think they just announced they have another one coming. I'm not sure of the location. But yeah, they make some great like cream ales and just traditional clear beers.
Ooh, nice.
Great stuff. 412 has a really good Mexican lager on right now.
Yeah, I had it.
That's great.
So good.
Abjuration always comes through with the crispy. Like they're known for their hoppies and their weird adjuncts, but they do some good traditional stuff too.
Certainly do.
Their multi amber ale is not overly caramely.
Yeah.
So that hits the spot.
That's a good one. Especially on those nights where you have the little bonfire going. Yeah.
But
a little bit of warmth in the
so
chest.
I can't pick one locally. I kind of travel around, but my one I go to at like a baseball game or anywhere that has
Natural Light.
a craft beer tent. No. And I might get some hate for this because it's kind of out of my zone, but the Dogfish Head Sea Quench
Oh, yeah.
is my favorite summer beer.
Yeah. I will say that the Sea Quench was my my step into sours.
Yeah.
And it's made with sea salt. Very delicious.
Don't have any here today, but a future brew day, I think we will have a case of that on hand.
So good. And also defeats heartburn. Like I use the sours, if I have too many of them, sometimes I get a little bit of heartburn. Sea Quench, never had it.
I don't know if it's because it's like that black lime instead of a traditional lime. I don't know why, but I don't get it either with that one.
Which like other ones, and you know, like I tell you right now, I have the Yinzer Sorbetto. Yeah. Delicious. Heartburn.
Those are heartburn city.
Heartburn city.
I'm really sensitive to it. So even if I get like a double dry hopped IPA, I'll start to get some heartburn. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So those sours usually wreck me.
So the second question we have coming in here, so we are getting very close to some really cool events. So people were wondering, what can we expect to see when we come to see Bash Brew in competition? I like to believe that means like what we bring to the competition and also how we are at the competition, if I could broaden that.
I mean, we are going to bring some strange ones out the gate. I know of 2 competitions we're doing now.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of adjuncty ones, a lot of fruity beers with fruit puree in them and stuff. So off-the-wall stuff, we don't want to blend in with the crowd. We're coming for the crowd vote, not the judge vote.
That's because Adam is the people's champion.
Yeah, I think in 2022, you might see us bringing like an adjuncty one and a traditional, trying to just step up our traditional.
We
game.
did step into the game with cream ales, and I thought we made a really good one.
Yeah, I think you'll definitely see that in competition summer 2022.
Oh yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it's a tasty one.
Yeah, but as far from us, if you hit us early, you'll get a lot of good feedback, like good information about the beer. Yeah. I bring all the stats. If you have questions about what hops are used or yeast are used or how we brewed it, I'm always looking forward to talking about that. It gets a little sloppier as we go into the competition because I enjoy the beers along with the rest of you guys, and I try to always have a designated driver on hand. Mm-hmm. But I will still enjoy talking to you about the beer. It might just take a little longer to get the words out of my mouth towards the end.
And also, too, if you get there early enough, I mean, we usually have enough like cool little swag and gear as we're going through. But if you get there early enough, Adam's wife makes all the art for all the bottles and everything, and there's like always tons of stickers. And we usually tend to bring the stickers that go along with the beers that we have, but we also bring like some throwbacks or some new stuff. And I have the Kickin' Kitty Porter sticker, and I rock that thing, man. Like it's so cool. And the scene is really awesome. So yeah, if you catch us early, like I'll say this too. I'll go on a limb. I'll say we're pretty fun. When you come over to us, we're very excited. We want you to try what we've made, and we get very excited when you make the "oh my god, this is good" face.
Yeah. And I get excited when I get critiqued. Yeah. I love some.
I don't.
Not quite negative. I mean, even negative feedback. Like, I was hoping there was going to be more of this or less of this. I'll take a note on it. Yeah. Because if I hear it enough, then I know. Hey, that's what that's what the public wants.
So direct all negative feedback to Adam because he can handle it. I can't. I'm sensitive.
Yeah, and I think you can expect myself, the first lady of brews, my wife Lori, and Matt at most competitions. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to be doing a lot this year, so I don't know what Lori's work schedule is going to be. But if she's not there, Matt will probably be there, and most likely all 3 of us will be at most of these.
Yeah, I like to believe that we would be there, and also too, like we just want to have some fun. Like we work really, really hard before we go to these competitions. It's a lot of work to get there. So when we get there, it's almost like that's our relief. Once all the hoses are hooked up and we know that lines are running well, we just want to have fun.
I'm a control freak until the board starts pouring, and then I just melt away, and I'm just enjoying myself.
I can almost see the steam coming off of you whenever like everything's set up and the first beer comes through clean out of the tap. I can almost like see the stress.
I'm just depressurizing.
Yeah, it's like it just comes off of you, and then you're like, "Who wants a beer?" Walking around all the tents and stuff. And so when we get out to the beer competition, just come out and hang out with us, ask us questions.
Yeah, and peek behind the curtain. We have 2 in September. We have a private event in October that we're doing, and then we have 1 scheduled for November now.
Yeah.
And to get into it on a technical level, we upgraded our system that we talked about on this podcast previously over a year ago, and it was for the purpose of doing these shows. So we will be hitting as many as we can until we open a professional brewery.
Yes.
And then we will still hit as many as we can, but it'll probably be less. But as long as I'm a home brewer, I just want to get to as many as I can within a certain hour radius, and we hope to see you all there.
I like to believe that whenever we open up the brick and mortar, that I'm going to be the mobile squad. I'll have the pony box.
Yeah, you take the jockey box everywhere you go.
It's like, who are we going to see the competition? Matt.
Oh, and I forgot. We are still planning, and if plans change, we will edit it in a future episode. But July 3rd, we're planning on tailgating the Pirates games. Mm-hmm. We're actually working on a collab today with the Hop Nation USA podcast and First Sip Brew Box.
Lovely gentlemen coming here to see how we do what we do, bring their ideas to us, and big collaborative effort. I'm actually so excited. I was excited to do this podcast, but I'm just as excited to do the brew.
So as it gets closer to July 3rd, check our socials. We'll try to figure out beforehand where we're going to be parking. If we can't, we will let you know early that day.
Yeah.
Come on and get a beer before you go into the game, or just come pay for parking, hang for a little while, and leave.
Or or
just come try some beer. We'll just be serving samples up.
My suggestion is Uber down to us, because here's what happens, guys. We don't take money. We just have beer. So that means you get to show up and just have beer.
Make Adam happy. Make me not have to bring full kegs home.
Because lifting full kegs hurts our shoulders.
Especially at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah. Especially when we're tied up and we need to take Ubers. Yeah. So the last question we have here before we move on to an email is kind of reminiscent of what we did with basketball, but we have a start, sit, cut for Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, and Le Magnifique Mario Lemieux. Adam, this is tougher than basketball. Because these are all
tougher than basketball because I respect all these. Well, I don't disrespect the basketball players, but I love hockey.
Yes.
I'm sorry, number 66.
Yeah.
But I am starting the great one, Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
You can't not. But when he goes down with an injury, coming in off the bench will be Mario Lemieux because I'm sitting him.
Yeah.
And Gordie Howe, he had a great career, man. Roll into retirement. I mean, I know he just passed away.
Rest in peace.
This year, I think. I mean, he lived a long time.
Yeah.
And played a long time. So much respect for the great Gordie Howe, but I'm going to cut you.
So very funny.
That sounded bad. I'm not coming at you with a knife. I'm just cutting you from the team.
So funny.
I'm going
to cut you. Funny story about this one. I have a relative. She's a big hockey fan. Her kids played hockey. I have cousins that are very skilled. They played in the Junior Olympics and stuff like that. All Pittsburgh boys. So I will say, though, that I've never heard her use the word fuck, but 2 times. And one time is whenever something really bad happened and she said it. But I was younger. I was 15, and I was talking to one of her sons, and we were talking about hockey. And at the time, I didn't really know how to differentiate on stats and stuff. I just knew who was really good and who wasn't. So I kept saying Wayne Gretzky's the best. He's the best. He's always been the best. And my aunt, who's all of 4'11", stuck her head into the living room. She's like, Wayne Gretzky was a fucking cherry picker. And then she put her head back into the kitchen to make us whatever we were going to eat. So that she said that makes me want to say that I'm going to start Mario Lemieux. I'm going to sit Wayne Gretzky. I think they're interchangeable. And I do have to cut Mr. Howe. I think that Gordie Howe had a phenomenal career, but I don't think if we're looking at today's metrics,
right?
He dominated his era, but I still think that the style of play of Gretzky and Lemieux would still translate now. They would give some of the top scorers a run for their money, especially Lemieux. He brought that big ass body to the ice, man. You don't score 5 goals in 5 ways with being a little punk. Yeah. So we have an email here. Hey boys, do you all have a bucket list? And if so, what is on it? If you procrastinated and didn't make one up right now. Dance for my entertainment monkeys. Dance.
They must have knew I was on vacation.
Yeah, they're like, Adam's taking some time away. Let's ask a complicated question. First off, you're asking me to face my mortality, which is a very damning question.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens whenever the lights go out. But regardless, I've already crossed some things off my bucket list.
I don't know what people typically have on theirs. Mine's very I'm very happy relationship wise.
Right.
My possessions are fine. Yeah. I'm good with where I'm really unhappy and where I really focus is my profession.
Yeah.
So of course on my bucket list is to have a successful brewery of about 7 barrels to 10 barrels. Nothing too big, but something big enough to live off of.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't live off of smaller, but just that's where I want to end is at 7 to 10.
Yeah.
It's not where I plan on starting.
Starting at 7 to 10, I'm what are you hiding from me?
I guess it's a fun thing for me. There's a lot of travel on my bucket list.
Oh, of course.
So I want to go to Alaska. I want to go to Iceland. I want to hit the UK, England, Scotland, Ireland. But the biggest thing I want to do is go to Germany for Oktoberfest.
That'd be sick. Yeah, for sure. Travel is definitely on mine too. What I'll say too, I agree with you. I have a house, I have a wife, I have kids. Those were 3 things. I was backtracking, a little inside scoop to me. We grew up very poor, so like I didn't.
Yeah, it's weird for me because like last time I probably thought about it, I was like 20, and I'm like, oh, I want this car and I want a house,
right?
Like,
yeah, and then like you get ththose things, and you're like,
and Avril Lavigne, like, oh, she go fall in love, and like everything.
Skater boy. So I grew up really poor, so there was like times where like the lights were gonna get turned off and shit. So I was like, that's why I was like, I want a big house, I want this fancy car. Like I have a reasonable car, I have a modest house, I have a wonderful wife, I have cool kids. So that's always awesome. Travel for me is like the number one thing I want to do outside of all of that. But I want to go to every hockey barn.
Oh, that would be great.
Just like every team.
Yeah, like how a lot of people do the baseball stadiums and the football stadiums.
I want to do all the hockey
that would
arenas.
Be awesome.
I think that'd be really fun.
Oh, I think I've only been to two.
Yeah.
3 if you count. One wasn't for a hockey game. I went to a concert in Columbus.
That counts. I want to see what they all look like. I want to see what everyone else's barn looks like. I've been to a couple baseball stadiums, and it was always fun going to other stadiums.
Yeah, I've been to a few more baseball stadiums than I have hockey arenas.
Well, I think
that would be cool.
Baseball games are reasonably less expensive.
Yeah, and baseball season takes place in the majority in the summer when you're already traveling. So like if you're
182 games.
So like if you're in a city, most likely you can catch a game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's an easy feat either, but
no.
Hockey's a little more
it's niche.
I think it takes a little more effort.
It does. You really got to plan. You got to plan your days out. No,
and your finances.
It's not cheap. Like I know right now, to even get into the Penguins right now, you're probably not getting in below.
Oh, it's free right now. I mean, the doors are locked, but.
What do you mean? Pens and 9. R.I.P. to a season that I thought was more promising. So I would say, like bucket list, the grandiose thing of like, I want to go to Egypt or whatever. Like, I don't
have that. Like that makes me anxious. Like, that's why I'm like Iceland.
Yeah. Ireland.
The other countries that speak English.
Yes.
So I don't feel lost. And that like good beer. And then I'll go way out of my comfort zone and go to Germany. Like,
well, you could go to that one place where they filmed, was it Hostel? Yeah.
I was like, I know what you're going to freaking say.
So let's go there. So
cheap Airbnb. Oh, what's this big swinging blade?
Oh, it's like, it's really clean. Everything else is kind of dirty, but that blade's pretty clean.
Thank goodness they have all these straps. I forgot my belt at home.
Free sex and vodka? Here? Honey, get the kids. So, speaking of bucket lists, because buckets are containers and beer goes in containers.
Drive a truck through that.
Oh, yeah. Segways are tough. Adam, can you please tell the lovely people at home what's on tap here in the Jojitorium?
Yeah, we're on our second keg of Jojinator on tap 1. That's our Orange Blossom Honey Double IPA. The New Zealand Pilsner is getting low on tap number 2. That's our 5.8 hoppy Pilsner. On tap number 3, we have our Mom Jean's Mimosa-inspired ale. We're also on the second keg of that. And new to the taps this week is the retired triple agent, R.I.P. Conald. It's our pineapple jalapeno triple IPA. Yes. That is 10.2%.
Yes. And if those flavor profiles kind of scare you, or the ABV kind of scares you, the ABV we can't denigrate that. The ABV's there. It's over 10%. But
hey, that's what makes it a triple.
Yeah, it's not overly spicy. It's not overly sweet. It's very even. The color is very opaque. It's a great beer.
I don't think it's very boozy either. It's a juicy, slightly hoppy. You definitely get the flavor of the jalapeno pepper and the pineapple, but it's not spicy.
It's not overwhelming. I would say you could close your eyes, pretend it's a double. It has the flair of a double, but it has the content of a triple. Yeah. Let me tell you, stirring that thing was not easy. Yeah. So if you want to find out what else is going on in the brew lab, you can follow Adam at @bash_brew on all social media, and you can also find him on Untappd. And if you want to know what's happening here in the Jojitorium with the boys, all you have to do is follow us at DecayingWTB on all social media. It's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to send in your listener emails, decayingwtb@gmail.com. And until next time, ladies and gents, cheers.
Cheers. Quack.
You're still not getting them.